I loved What Becomes of the Brokenhearted. This is the 42nd episode of the first season of Sabrina the Animated Series, and I won't go into any spoiler details to begin with, but I will reveal what the ultimate message is. So I guess it's a spoiler, but I won't say how it comes about. But to be on the safe side, I'll just give a spoiler warning. And this is so brilliant for anybody of any age. One of the great things about Sabrina the Animated Series is that often, not always, but often, the problems that Sabrina is facing are problems that anybody of any age can deal with. And this is what we get here. But I also think it's ideal for the target audience who maybe are starting to come to terms with difficult emotions. And it's so easy when you feel heartbroken or any kind of negative emotion to feel like you're the only person going through that. And here we have something to suggest otherwise. Sabrina is desperate to go on this class trip with her teacher, and in the opening scene she's giving a presentation with a shark's head on for some reason, obviously trying to score brownie points with the teacher. Everybody's wearing t-shirts that celebrate their love of the teacher. A little bit awkward, but unfortunately the trip is only on a small boat. So the teacher can only take, I think it was 5 students. And he's going to pick the 5 who would benefit most from the trip. And Sabrina wants to be one of them. She thinks that she will be one of them. And I do have to say, the fairest option would have been to pick names out of a hat. That would have been fairer. But quite quickly we learn that Sabrina isn't chosen to go on this trip. And she is heartbroken. I guess it's a combination of her teacher, or her feelings that the teacher has rejected her, and also the fact that she's been rejected from the trip itself. So she kind of feels like she's not good enough for the trip, and also her teacher doesn't want her, which obviously is a strong reading of the situation, but particularly when you're Sabrina's age, that can definitely seem like it's the case. But to be honest, if you're like me, you will oftentimes take things very personally, even when there's no need to do so. And Salem suggests that Sabrina goes to visit the wise warlock, and I love the character design. I think the character is really great. I'm not sure who voices this character in particular. That information I couldn't find, but if anybody knows, please feel free to let me know. I'm assuming it's one of the regular voice cast. And the warlock tells her, if you find somebody who has never experienced a broken heart, I will give you the cure to a broken heart. Obviously, Sabrina's jumping at this chance, and she's given this kind of gadget, this kind of device, and she's meant to go and find somebody with a broken heart and report back to the warlock, and the warlock helps her to see that everybody has had a broken heart. And we get to see examples from Gem and Harvey and Salem and others, and I won't go into them all, of course. And I think it did a really good job of showing that actually different scenarios can be really heartbreaking to people. Gem's seemed a little bit ridiculous, but for Gem, that was a situation that genuinely upset her, and it's important to realise that what might not seem that important to one person is important to somebody else, and it's important to be respectful of that. And this is something we see with Quigley. I won't say exactly what happened with Quigley, but he had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for something he cared so much about. And because there was nobody else around to help him or willing to help him, he missed that opportunity. And it was heartbreaking for Quigley. And I really felt that. And I think it does a great job of showing different scenarios. Obviously, with Sabrina, she's heartbroken because a person has seemingly rejected her. But the other scenarios are all a little bit different. And I think the variety was very well done. And we do find out that the cure is simply riding that wave until the time passes. And I know they say time heals all wounds. And for the most part, that is generally true. And Sabrina has to realise that this is just part of life. Everybody experiences heartache, and eventually you will get over it, or you'll learn to deal with it, depending on if it's really severe heartache. Sometimes it's not possible to get completely over something like grief, but in time it will become more manageable. I'm pretty sure in time Sabrina will forget all about this. So some really great messages in this, beautifully animated. Loved the character of the warlock as well. So no complaints here. I thought What Becomes of the Brokenhearted was a pretty great episode of Sabrina the Animated Series, and I definitely recommend it.